They're a little bit guilty of something else. Yes, 100%. Well, then after this, we pan over to Tom and Tom, who are at Shorts and Sandy's, and they're talking about, man, we just got the last booth in, and this is the final piece of the puzzle, which it's like, you don't have a fucking kitchen staff, bro, but you have the last booth. So we're about to open. That's great. And then they move into the conversation of like, Sandoval, how are you feeling about Ariana right now? Like, how's it going? And he's like, man, I just feel like Ariana is constantly annoyed by me. But I feel like the way that he's constantly talking about this in his confessionals and having these one-on-one conversations with Schwartz, who he can openly talk to because that's his business partner, I feel like he's laying the groundwork for letting people know, had the affair not come out, this is why I am no longer with Ariana. And hopefully you guys can understand where I'm coming from. It was like he was laying this out for us. He was pre-building the house and selling the house with the floor plans and the blueprint for somebody else to buy, being like, I've already done most of the work.
Yeah, it would be so smart if he didn't get caught in the affair. Like, it would be so, and maybe that's how a lot of people are. If we're not all on reality shows, but maybe for a lot of people, they do slowly lead into the breakup, and maybe that's because we're so afraid to hurt the other person. But clearly, that's leading the other person on. So if obviously he's cheating on her, so he knows this relationship's not forever, or at least doesn't respect it. So but yeah, very interesting how he expects his audience to just go along. Well, I said that I was not happy and whatever. So, I mean, I don't know what his timeline would have been. A couple more months of this, maybe dumper the next season, who knows what would have happened.
Exactly. This is a great super chat. Thank you guys. I think most of us would question why Sandoval was always defending Pratchett, which would be Raquel, if we hadn't known about their affair. No, I agree. I think that, and we'll get into that in a second, but I feel like a lot of the moments where Raquel is being kind of attacked by the rest of the group, or they're ganging up on her, he does step in, which would have given me, if I were his partner, which I'm not, cause for pause, being like, let her fight her battle. This has nothing to do with you. This is coming off like you are now fighting with the women. Why?
Yeah, I don't even, I'm tongue tied on the the old fight, because so much is going on that it's like you're almost damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, if you chime in, you're just adding to the chaos. But if you don't chime in, you're letting someone else fight your battles. And Raquel's defending Schwartz, who doesn't really ask for it. And is that just Raquel's excuse to speak up in the first place? Like, oh, I'm a voice for the voiceless. It's like, okay, easy, pageant queen.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, is it your wife or your girlfriend?
My wife.
Okay, so your wife. If your wife is sitting there and she's arguing with her friends, and you can see like, man, they're getting the best of her, and they're telling her like, I kind of think you're an asshole for this, and I'm just letting you know, like, you didn't invite me to the charcuterie board wine night when you invited Stephanie, so you're an asshole. Like, if they start going in on her, do you chime into the conversation, or are you just like, sorry, babe, you're on your own?
I'm a big de-escalator. You have to go hard for your partner, but also get them out of that situation, which would make for horrible reality TV. I'd be like, oh, honey, the valet's outside. Like, I just remove her because I know that I wouldn't be able to, like, you don't want to fight the other person's battle, but then it's a long car ride home if you're not going to bat for them. I think your partners just always want to know you'll go to bat for them, which is interesting because I feel like Sandoval feels like Ariana wouldn't go to bat for him, but it can also be a complex to think that no one's on my side. And it kind of feels like that's Sandoval's personality, which is a side topic here. But yeah, de-escalation. That's the key.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also think that Sandoval is a special personality, because when we move over to his house with Ariana and he's talking to her, and she's talking about, like, we have our logos, and he's like, oh my God, your logos, that's cool. Can I see it? And they're showing things. He initiates the conversation of feeling disconnected. And he's telling her, like, I feel like we need to be closer. She's like, Tom, he's like, we can't have sex just 4 times a year. She's like, I'm not going to have sex with who I feel like is a stranger. Now, I always love playing devil's advocate here, but in this side, I have to favor Ariana, not just because she's the obvious choice, but because she's telling him, You want to go out and have your cake and party with everybody, go to the Abbey, hang out in West Hollywood, drink, get fucked up, party, do all of these things while opening a new business. And then you come home and what, you just like, when I'm asleep, you want to wake me up and have sex? Like, I don't want to do that. My idea of us kind of doing things and getting more intimate would be spending quality time in order to take those baby steps to get there. Well, what does quality time mean to you? She's like, cooking, watching movies together, maybe going on a walk. He's like, that's quality time to you, Ariana? That is not quality time to me. She's like, no, douchebag. That is quality time. And that is the definition of spending quality time.
Yeah.
I just have to pick your brain on this one too.
Well, he just wants to go hang gliding. That's quality time for him, is hang gliding. Look, regardless of the definition of quality time, he needs to acknowledge what her love language is and not say what he needs. And vice versa, if his love language is affirmations, she needs to give him that sort of love. So he's denying what she needs by saying, that's not what I need. It's like, yeah, no, duh, dummy. Love's not about giving the other person what you need. Love's about accepting what they want and then being a part of that. That's how you invest in each other. But if they don't know I mean, I'm not here to call that the basics, but if he's 40 years old and doesn't know that at this point, someone's got to buy him that book and just do a little research.
Could you imagine if your wife, like you said to your wife, this guy is like, he's literally Peter Pan at its finest. If like Peter Pan was not a cartoon, this guy is Peter Pan. Could you imagine if your wife came to you and was like, babe, I don't want to cook shit with you. I just want to microdose on shrooms and go hang gliding. And that is my idea of like bonding with you. You don't get that? What would your answer be?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, look, first of all, nobody loves to do what their partner does. Like, I don't go, go get gluten-free donuts on Larchmont because I enjoy overpriced donuts. It's because it's quality time for her and she likes sweets. So you do things for your partner. It's just, yeah, I mean, whatever. But I think most people get that, even if they don't lay it out so perfectly. You just learn how to itch your partner's scratch, and you just learn that naturally over time. This is almost second month conversation in a relationship where you're just starting to learn each other. That's how it feels. So clearly they've neglected each other for so long that they're finally exposing, where they lack.
I agree with that. Dave. And obviously so do other people. Okay. So when he was in this conversation and he's doing the whole, I love you with the fake tears when there's no real tears coming out, but we know Tom Sandoval and his background is and I've had these conversations with him before, Dave, I'll be honest with you. And he's like, he will tell you, I am one of the best actors in the world. Like literally, if not the best actor. And I just haven't gotten my shot. So I had to, go into reality TV because, man, it was either that or go back to St. Louis because I didn't want to just wait for someone to let me into the industry. Like I had to take reality TV. I had to pay my bills if I was going to stay here. But I for damn sure am one of the best. I've never seen a hype man for somebody's own self like I have Tom Sandoval.